Hello parents and carers, it's Simon Abelodo here at Rush Green Primary School. The date is the 13th of July 2022. So, where are we this year? Well, we've had a good year. Despite some COVID challenges, particularly this term, a couple of long-term staff absences, all in all we've done well and we've managed the COVID situation without too much of an impact on children. We recognise that those classes where we've had some long-term sickness, we've managed it as best we could using internal cover and where we've had to supply. It's not been ideal, and we've been working already on how we're going to resolve that next year. But in terms of staffing for next year, we are fully staffed, which is good to know. It's really hard recruiting teachers at the moment, but we've got some fantastic teachers joining us. Obviously, we've got some teachers leaving us too. We've got a few maternities, and we've also got some people returning from maternity. So joining us this year, we've got Miss Morton, who's coming to us in September, Miss Adams, Miss Begum and Mrs Coggin. So they'll all be coming to us in September. The children will have met them today on the Meet the Teacher, and they're going to be part of the video, so you'll get to see them when the year group leads produce the videos introducing you and the children to them, which will go out by the end of this week. Now, those videos will stay on the website, and the reasoning for that is so that if your children feel a bit nervous on the run up to September and the return to school, you could play those videos, and obviously you as parents, you know what these staff look like and who the class teacher is and all of that. So it should be useful. And I think it's one of the good things that did come out of COVID. That. So Mrs O'Connor, who's not been very well for some time now, is going to be returning, which is great news. And we've got some returns from maternity. So Mrs Barnes and Mrs Avellino, which we're really looking forward to seeing again. They'll be back here in September too, so that's good stuff. Now, Miss Kane is going to be going on maternity. So you've probably already seen it. Miss Kane is starting to show now. And I'm sure you'll all join me in wishing her the best of luck with all the pregnancy related stuff, and hopefully a nice healthy baby soon. Miss Shakil is going to be leaving us to go to Dubai. It's somewhere that she's very interested in going to, so we wish her all the best. And Miss Abwala is also going to be going, and we have Mr Calderwood, who is moving on to pastures anew. Now, Mr Calderwood has been in this school since he was a newly qualified teacher. So, obviously, he's come up through the ranks to be a deputy, and now he's going on to be head teacher in his own school. So, we wish him the best of luck, and I know that you will all join me in that, and thanking him for all his hard work over the years. And he's certainly a very valued member of staff that we'll miss dearly. So, heat issues. Now, obviously, in the run-up to the summer holidays, it seems to be getting hotter and hotter, and the latest is that next week, the temperatures over Monday and Tuesday are going to be almost unbearable. So I think Tuesday is predicted to be the hottest day at the moment, and that's likely to be around 34 degrees. So we've got some plans in place for that, obviously, mainly around the lunchtime sort of exposure. We'll be keeping the children in a bit like we would do for wet play, really. The children have plenty of access to water. So water isn't an issue. Obviously, sending the children in with sunscreen and hats and all of that. The other thing that we're going to say from next week, we've got non-uniform on Thursday and Friday anyway. The end of term we always have non-uniform, but Thursday is when we're going to be doing our parties. So Thursday and Friday next week will be non-uniform. But what we're saying is that next week we're going to make the whole week non-uniform. So Monday, Tuesday can be really, really hot days. We could, of course, say children coming in PE kit, but the nylon stuff that tends to make up the PE uniform, it's not very hygienic. It gets very, very sweaty, very smelly, and obviously kids sitting around in that all day, sort of for 3 or 4 days, just isn't really a tenable proposition. So we're going to say children come in non-school uniform from Monday to Friday next week, and then come in, appropriate shorts and all that sort of stuff. So I think that seems like a sensible proposition to me anyway, at least. Fans we've got in classrooms where we're needed. Obviously, those children that have got air conditioning in their classrooms are fairly lucky. I think actually going forward, that is going to be something we're going to have to think about in the classes. Seems the last 3 to 4 years we've had some really hot weather around about June, coming into July. I think we're going to have to start saving up for this and perhaps do make some changes in terms of what we've got there, but that's a conversation for another day, and obviously quite an expense that we can't afford, but there we go, and everything else, isn't it? So September staffing I've talked about. Results. So now we've talked, haven't we, about this catch-up programme and about all the work that we've been doing in the school to get our children caught up from COVID, and we've sort of maintained it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We've done really well this year, really, really well. In fact, at the end of the early years foundation stage, so at the end of reception, the end of the Key Stage 1 testing, the Year 1 phonics check, which we do, the end of Key Stage 2 testing, and all of our internal results at the moment show that we're working at least 10% above the national average. So we're looking really good. We're looking really good. I'm not going to bang on about that because there's not going to be any league tables this year. And in terms of Key Stage 1, the early years foundation, the Year 1 phonics, and all of that stuff that we do down there, there's no pressure on the children. We make it a part of their daily learning so that they don't even realise they're doing the testing really. And I don't want that lack of pressure to change into anything else. Key Stage 2 SATs is obviously a bit more different because that's how schools are measured. But the children have done extremely well. In fact, as I said, we're 10% above the national in every subject. So very, very strong performance there. And we're only a little bit off where we would normally be. So I'm really pleased with the work the children and the teachers have put in there, and you at home with all the support that you've given. So thank you for all the support, and well done to the children and of course the staff for all their hard work. Now, we've put in round about, it must be something in the region of, I don't know how many thousands of hours now, of additional support through tutoring and things like that we've run here in our school. Some of it involving our own staff, and some of it where we don't really have the capacity. We brought staff in from outside, tutors, as well as some online stuff, which has never really worked as well. But we've sort of thrown the baby and the bathwater at this to try and get the children caught up. We focused on reading in our school because we know reading really is the cornerstone to everything else. If they can read, they can write, and if they can read, they can approach the SATs questions in maths, and they've got a bit more of a rounded understanding. So reading for us has been the big focus, and all of the interventions, we've had a really good set of outcomes. The children have done really well and made tremendous progress. I've detailed all of that in something we call a pupil premium report, and that's available. I think it's under statutory information and policies and all of that on our school website. So if you've got nothing better to do and you're a bit bored, bit of bedtime reading for you, whatever, feel free to have a look. But it's a celebration really of what we've done, and I think we should all be proud. It's been a tough year really. Not sure why, it just has. I think it has for everyone, but we've come out quite golden, I think, on that. So well done. Mrs. Fincham will kill me if I don't mention this. The cancer research, the Walk for Life, and all of the stuff that was done around that, the children have raised over £3,000, and that is a tremendous outcome. We've still got sponsorship money coming in, but was so impressed. It's obviously something that really hits home, and so many of us, all families, friends, have been affected by cancer. So thank you very much for that. The Race for Life stuff there, super stuff, and just can't thank you all enough for your support there. So September, children are due to return on the 5th of September. We've got 2 inset days on the 1st and 2nd of September, on Thursday and Friday. Staff will be in school on those days, obviously training ready for the new priorities for next year. And the priorities that we're thinking are going to be, looking at what we can do to improve what we're doing in terms of teaching and learning, to speed up this catch-up process that we've been talking about, and try and get us back on track to where we were pre-pandemic. And we've got some work to do around the broader curriculum and what we've done there in terms of all the rewriting of our curricular schemes. So all in all, we're already making plans for next year and what we can do to improve things. But at this point, all that's left is for me to say thank you for all your hard work and support this year. I think it's been a tough year, but you know what? It's been a rewarding year too. And I look forward to seeing you all in September if I don't see you at the performances and things like that. And it's going to be another good year. I've got a good feeling, and yeah, have a great summer, and look forward to seeing you in September. Bye bye.